Well, hello again. It is now 12:25 p.m. on December 29th, 2015. I am currently walking home from work again. Went in for 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. Originally wasn't even supposed to work today. But I was asked to come in on the chance that there was a lot of work to be done. So we don't know how many pallets come in on a day until the night before, and for some reason they didn't send us the email or send us the memo that said how many pallets last night. So they asked me to come in today on the off chance that there was a lot. And there wasn't. But they didn't really want to waste my time and send me home right away. So they said, hey, well, while you're here, if you don't want to work a little bit and then you can go home, that's fine. So I worked a little bit and now I'm on my way home. But see, I wasn't even supposed to work today. I wasn't even supposed to be here. And I don't mind. I don't mind the extra hours, don't mind the extra time, but I just think it's odd that on a day that I would have slept in, probably would still be asleep right now. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I sleep until whenever the hell I wake up on my day off. I came out of my apartment, as I normally do, and start walking to work. And usually I just keep to myself and just walk along the road as I am now. Walk through a little field and walk through the campus of the school. And usually I just keep to myself. Usually I see people from time to time. They'll be over here at the school or they'll be walking on the road. And, you say good morning or you say your usual things and you just kind of move on. Today was a little bit different. On my way to work, you like I said, you see some people in the morning, you see some people walking, and usually you say good morning, or usually you just keep your head down and you go through the motions because it's relatively early. I mean, 10 in the morning isn't early. It's not like 5, but it's still early enough to where there's a handful of people like myself that are like, fuck this, I'm just going to go do what I need to do. And, you have somebody that just randomly decides to pick up whatever they were doing and walk with you and try to start a little conversation about whatever spurs their mind. Meanwhile, you're trying to get to work and you want to be nice. You want to say, okay, yeah, I can have this conversation for a few minutes while I'm walking, but if you can't walk with me, I'm sorry, I have to do what I need to do. But they were talking to me. It was this woman. This looked to be like she was in her 20s. She was talking to me about life. And, it started with a hi, how you doing? My name's so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, this was a few hours ago, so I don't remember her name. My memory sucks. But, she's like, hey, I've seen you walking around, and that's not uncommon. I tend to walk everywhere I go. So it's like, whatever, okay. Nice to meet you. So I've seen you walking around, and, I wanted to ask you about your situation, if you don't mind talking to me. And I want to hear from someone I've never heard of before what their thoughts are on life and their thoughts are on states of being. And I was like, a little put off by this because I enjoy conversations like this. I really do, but it was just weird. Like, usually conversations like this are spurred up after you know somebody for a while, or not just a random happenstance of random woman that I honestly thought when I walked past her she was waiting for the bus. And she just decided to get up and start walking with me. And she walked with me almost all the way to my work. We were talking for like 15 minutes. And she's like, I'd love to keep talking to you more, but I know you gotta go. And we didn't exchange contact information. it was, she played it off as if we will meet again. Well, you know, I don't know if you know, I mean, I guess if you ride the bus or if you're in this area, you might realize that I walk this path on a daily basis almost, but it was just kind of odd. I had that happen, and then on my way home from work, I usually sit outside my work for a few minutes and have a cigarette with a coworker or something like that, and then I'll, as they go back into work today, I was still sitting there finishing my cigarette and decided, you know, I'm gonna wait a minute, and then I'm gonna go. As I'm walking away, you know, you have those times when you're walking on the road, or when you're you know, standing on a sidewalk or whatever it is, you'll have those moments where a car will pass and you'll kind of lock eyes with somebody in a car and you'll be like, do I know that person or are they just staring at me? And I had that moment happen when we were sitting there talking. Me and my coworker, we were sitting outside of our work talking, having a cigarette, whatever. We were just talking about work, just talking about mindless shit about work. Just, you know, how many pallets, what is this person supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. Mindless, stupid shit. And have one of those moments where a car drives past us and I kind of lock eyes with the driver of the car. It's a guy, a white guy wearing glasses, and I don't think I've ever seen him before, but he looked familiar. And I don't know, I mean, I walk through the mall and I walk around town all the time, so it's possible I've seen him before. I just don't know who he is, just a random stranger, but he looked familiar. And I was like, you know, I was trying to think about, maybe I know this guy, maybe he'll say something. Then he just kind of drives around, and I don't pay it any mind, because whatever, he didn't say anything, he didn't honk, he had his window down, he was looking right at me, but didn't say anything. So I kept my conversation with my coworker. They had to go back in. I was off of work. So after a few minutes of my sitting there, just kind of thinking to myself, whatever, I decided to get up and start walking away, start walking to where I am now. And I see the guy again. He's now walking out of his car to walk into one of the businesses in the plaza. And again, he locks eyes with me, and I just kind of stop moving for a second. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe now that I'm not with anybody, he wants to approach me or say something. And no, he just kind of locks eyes with me, but keeps on his set path in a direction that's not towards me. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. I don't really have time for this. I'm gonna go home now. So, weird fucking day. Like, so far, so fucking weird. But I guess I'll go ahead and go inside and maybe add on some more to this. You know, I don't know. Maybe the rest of you can tell me about your weird days in the meantime. Tell me if anything, like, you ever have one of those moments where you go into a fast food restaurant? I have in the past. That's how I actually met one of my friends. I went into a fast food restaurant. I was actually working at a Burger King. Oh, what's this? Wait a second. Oh, a purely white feather I just found. I'll post a picture of it on Facebook. Actually, I'll see if I can post a picture of it right in here in the video somewhere. A nice little white feather. Random. There's no white birds around here. There's all ducks. I don't know where this fucking feather came from. Anyway, but I was working at a Burger King years and years ago, and I was in the back room, and I just had this feeling like I need to walk out there and say hi to somebody I've never met before. I need to walk into the dining room and say hi to somebody. So I walked up, and I thought, okay, maybe it's one of my friends. Maybe they were calling me, and I subconsciously heard it or something. Went out to the dining room, because it was at a Burger King, and it was, you know, weird, because somebody else that was in the dining room thought they need to say hi to somebody that was in the back, and they didn't know who, and I didn't know who, and we've never met each other before, and we're basically on the opposite sides of the counter. She's on one side of the counter, I'm on one side of the counter, and we're just kind of staring at each other like, what did you do? And mind you, neither one of us had ever met the other person, and that's how I met somebody that I know named Adriana. And it's just like, I know you, but I don't know you. And it's the same, like, what? What just happened? Wait, what? Hi, my name's Tim. I get off at 6. What are you doing? Like, I don't know who you are, but I need to talk to you later. And that's how I met one of my friends. It's legitimate, like, that's how it happened. So I'm curious if, like, some of the weird shit that's happening lately is gonna end up turning out to be something like that. But anyway, I'll probably add more to this later. I don't know. I gotta see how long it is. I can't really go over 30 minutes. So yeah, if I add more later, then I'll talk to you in a minute. And if I don't, then have a nice day. Hello, everybody. It is currently, let me get my other phone out. It is December 30th, 2015. It is 7:07 in the PM, and I am in the middle of the street. Get out of the way for this person. Sorry for the shaky cam. Can't really help it right now. I just figured you'd rather a video because I'm walking back where we did in episode 1, 7:07 in the PM. I'm walking in the exact same back alley that we did in episode 1, but I'm going to be walking a little bit faster for one, because A, it's nighttime. It's a little bit more shady back here. I do have a flashlight if I need it. Currently going to meet up with my girlfriend, who is going to be paying her phone bill in a plaza on the other side of this one, and I just figured I'd walk back through here because it is more interesting. Excuse me. I'm going to keep my voice down for a second because there's an individual who's probably doing some illegal dumping, and I bet you he's going to drive off the minute I get close. We will see what we can catch. Just because urban exploration is interesting, you cannot see anything on this camera. Wow. Yep, there he goes. Driving away. Big pickup truck. Oh, what was that? Jesus, fuck. That was, I don't know if you saw that. That was an animal. That was a cat that was right up in front of me. The fuck was that? I'm going to walk closer to the building because oh, there's a black cat right there. You stay over there and I'll stay over here. How about that? That's about the third cat that I've seen. Hopefully they don't follow me. I'm allergic to cats. I love cats. Don't get me wrong. Love cats. Guy was in that dumpster right over there. I'm curious what he was dumping, but at the same time, he didn't go that far. He's way up ahead of me right now. He didn't actually leave. He's that car right there. So I'm not going to be looking in the dumpster behind him in case it was illegal, in which case I don't want to be implemented. And what is that? What is that word? I'll light a cigarette while I'm walking back here, so I'm not as fucking shady, I guess. Well, shady guy, shady back alley, shady cigarette. I don't know. So, I didn't really have anything to add other than, you ever have those moments? You know, we were talking earlier in this same video about meeting random strange people. You ever have those moments where you meet somebody and they're like, "Hey, how you doing, Tim? What's going on?" And in the back of your mind, you're like, "Fuck, I don't know who you are." But you can't say, "I don't know who the fuck you are," because social norms dictate that you should know who this person is. So you pretend like you know who this person is, hoping that they will give you some clue as to who they are. I've had that happen on multiple occasions. And it's just because mainly my memory sucks ass. But if anybody wants some free pallets, there's pallets sitting over here. See so many people doing crafty shit with pallets on Facebook. There's another cat. You probably can't see it because it's just so damn dark over here. But so I was getting a drink at Firehouse and earlier today, and had a customer sitting there. Guy looked like he was in a nice fancy suit and tie kind of person. He says, as I'm getting a drink, "How you doing, Tim? How's your job doing?" I said, "It's doing fine. How are you doing today, sir?" He's like, "Another day. Just taking a little break." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Everything good over at TJ Maxx? Are you still over there?" I said, "Yeah, everything's fine." And I thought it was odd because there's a bunch of people that I know, like personally, that I know that don't know that I actually work at TJ Maxx, that, you know, are like people I trust that don't know that I work over there. And there's a person that was doing the dumping. I don't know what they're doing now. I'm gonna keep walking in case it's illegal, just in case. I don't want to know. But so yeah, person knew where I worked. He knew my name. It's not uncommon for people to know my name. Not uncommon for people to know that I work, specifically when that place that I was entering, the Firehouse, was in the same plaza as where I work. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I've run into this person in the plaza and I mentioned it and just forgot that I mentioned it. I don't know. So random, just, but that seems to happen a lot more lately, that I'll run into a random person at, say, Checkers or at the mall. It's just like, "Hey, Tim. Hey, you. What's going on? You?" And then you do the little like, "Yeah, I know who you are, of course. You're that person." And, usually it ends well. But anyway, random bantering. I've got to cross this street, and of course traffic noise is going to be a pain in the ass. By the way, saw the new Star Wars movie. It is a good movie. But as a standalone movie, like part of a series, yes, good movie. Standalone movie, not that great. Anyway, I won't say any more because I know a lot of people are Star Wars nerds. I'm a Star Trek nerd. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off for now. Have a happy new year, because I will probably not be posting a video until after the new year. You have a happy new year, and I will see all of you people probably never, because this is YouTube, but you will be seeing me later. Get across this street. I'm going to videotape myself getting across the street, so if I get hit, you could all see it. So yeah, have fun.